All right, welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. Also streaming on Radiant Creators today, just because there's some interesting news, and once in a while, I like to send one over there. So, on a rare occurrence, this is on uh, Radiant Creators, my own personal YouTube, and blockchain education. So, here we go. It's BitcoinDailyView.com. Thanks for being here. There's always more for you there. It is Tuesday, November 21st, 11:43 a.m. here in the Arizona desert. Looking at the MMRI today, it's at 285. It's not over 300, so we're not too crazy right now. As you notice, it did get above the 300 mark there at the beginning of October, but it's gotten over that trend. So I think we're going to see a bit of a rally in the market. Not financial advice, of course, but I think in the greater market, the commodities market and such, I think we may see that be the case right at the end of the year because we are starting an election cycle, etc. It's bonus time, you name it. A lot of the wars are starting to tone down. So looking at the MMRI, for what it's worth, I think we might be seeing an end to the interest rate hikes for a little while. Total high octane speculation, but I could possibly see a through the end of the year rally in the traditional markets. And of course, that's going to be crypto as well. Looking at the big indexes today, the Dow, NASDAQ, S&P, and the Russell, all really not moving, just barely in the green. Actually, they're all right now in the red, just a slight bit of a percent out of the green. So Dow is down 0.17, NASDAQ down 0.67, S&P down 0.19, Russell 2000 down 1.13. Taking a quick look at the S&P 500, Tesla in the green 2% today. So there you go. That's the only one, really only sector, only thing really doing well. Healthcare sector looking kind of green today, but anyway, S&P 500 not looking that great. Big index is not that great, but looking at the MMRI, I do wonder since we got below that visit to the 300s, I think we may have seen, like I say, just something to ponder. And if you do follow the MMRI, I think if we continue down, we might see some liquidity enter the market, some money enter the market. Let's see what happens. We'll watch commodities definitely. In fact, we're going to look at commodities and see how that actually links up. Looking at Bitcoin trading volume explicitly, 5.4 billion last 24 hours. That's up 123%. So definitely we have some money coming into the market today. If you look at the hourly chart here, you can see today we took one crazy dip, came back up. Although what's funny is for that volatility, I didn't see a lot of wrecked longs. And I didn't see a lot of wrecked shorts either. So it's almost like this market volatility today. Somebody knew. Look at that, a big $2.2 million sell. So anyway, interesting. Definitely volatility in the market, but not seeing the longs and shorts that I would expect. Odd. Um, the big money oftentimes knows before we know. In fact, they're playing it. So 49% long, 50% short for Bitcoin on Binance for the big money is Ethereum, 63% long, 36% short. Looking at the top crypto exchanges, a slight uptrend on the top 20 as far as spot trading volume today, and just recently a little spurt, which is not surprising given the news that recently came out, and we'll look at that in a sec. Looking at Bitcoin and the top 100, my favorite band, $36,892 for one Bitcoin, not bad. Alt market obliterated today, which is just fine. That's probably in reaction to news today. That is totally fine. If you're in a position, hang tight. Not financial advice, but hang tight. We're probably going to see a bounce tomorrow. I myself will be looking for some. Well, if you're shorting right now, you're cool. But I'm telling you, probably going to see some great alt bounces. Pretty darn soon. So that's why I'm back on. Sorry, I've not been doing videos for a couple days. It's just I'm insane, crazy busy. Most of what I'm busy with is good stuff, but I have not had a chance to really sit down and trade or make videos. So right now we got a hot moment in the market, so I'm on trading, and I will share what I do with you. Now today is the 45-minute chart looking at Bitcoin versus USDT on news. We'll get into what that news. We'll get into what that news was in a second. As if you probably already know, but definitely had a dump. These yellow candles show perfect downwards velocity. Then, of course, we had a nice pump after that. It's a 45-minute chart, and boom. The thing to note here is right here. We are actually The swipe moving average is the 200 moving average, and pretty much we dumped below, got above, came back, tested it. Now we're probably going to continue upwards. So this is odd. I mean, so there you go. We had a reaction, and then boom. And the thing about it is, if we were to look at this chart here, you can do a little bit of a ray right here, horizontal ray. Let me just go right about here. You can kind of see previous support and resistance, and so bam, it just wicked down to previous support, and boom, it bounced. So it's a beautiful bounce. The indicators are showing a turn up, if you ask me. Definitely had some sell volume, but in my opinion, that's it. It would not surprise me if little Z here, and I'll get in the news right now. Binance's CZ to step down, pay a big old fine. Would not surprise me if he already made the money on that fine, to pay that fine, when he had his limit order probably like right here with like a cool like billion or two or something that he's been laying. He's been like layering it in. You know what I mean? He probably had a short going, and then he probably had a limit order waiting to pick that up. Z will be just fine. I really, a lot of people will say, like, oh, I'm glad that guy is going down, because, yeah, I mean, I believe it was the SEC definitely had some, issues with him. And I'm just saying, though, if you could go to, wherever you'd like to go, a ball game, like to go for a walk in the park, like to get a glass of wine in a nice wine bar with somebody, would you rather go with CZ or like Janet Yellen? I mean, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? He's an interesting dude. I don't know. I'm, in a world full of just, I think my thing is, you have to forgive me. He may have done some naughties, but what? Oh, and anyway, just. And the people going after him, what are like holy and good. So it's just kind of like the biggest gangsters are going after a small gangster in CZ. It does appear that and if you have been watching, Kraken recently got gone after. And I don't think the charge. I don't think their findings. Don't think the findings for the Kraken are quite as extreme. But anyway, the high table has given their orders down to their under the table organization, the SEC, which is now going after who they were, told to go after. So I see no righteous validity in it myself personally, unless you're into the high table. If you want to learn about the high table, watch John Wick 3. It's all laid out. Everything in that movie is real. It's how things actually work. So check it out. Anyway, Bitcoin, perfect bounce, looking good. I mean, that's a beautiful bounce. If you ask me, really, I think we're probably going to see a continuation here of an upwards trend. Longs and the shorts, I think, are kind of done. I myself, if I had to do something right now, I think I would long, and I'll tell you why. Look at this beautiful upwards channel. That's kind of steep. Let me actually stay sane and keep it right around here. I think this is a nice upwards channel, and what I'm watching for the bottom of this channel right now is, of course, you can see where it is. It is, right there on the 45 200 moving average. Boom. If it can actually get to the bottom of this channel, it's at the bottom of the channel, and it's 200. If it starts to move up right here, guys, I'm so in. I'm in. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Not financial advice, but I'm in, and here's why. Because we've been on this uptrend. It's been rocking along pretty good. If I grab my little forecast tool here, what would getting back to the top of this channel be? That'd be a nice, 3% or so. It's not bad if you could ride back to the top of this channel. If you get halfway, well, then you got halfway. Halfway would be, of course, 2% or so. So anyway, I'm going to be watching for that nice little sweet spot to buy to buy Bitcoin. I think that's nice. I think we'll probably continue this uptrend. I think it's the way it goes. I think, like I said, looking at the MMRI, which I know is a weird indicator, but I think we've really pushed that super high risk time, and now I think we're coming back down to a lower risk time. Given the MMRI, I put it in the in the live chat. Check it out. It does seem to really be a very good indicator. And of course, like I say, we're moving into election season and such. They're going to do whatever they have to keep this economy looking good. And they're probably going to print money like crazy. They're going to buy debt. I think we might have a smooth year, just high octane speculation, but I do think between now and the end of the year, we might see a sweet spot. If we don't, then we'll know pretty soon it's not going to happen. But let's just think, I think it might be a very, very groovy Thanksgiving for many, many people. So, I definitely will be watching to get into some nice sweet deals, and looking at you can see this beautiful 4-hour chart. It shows a nice uptrend here. I like it. 4-hour chart. There you go. You can see with the 4-hour chart on that news, we had some dump here. The yellow candles we wicked, but now there's this crazy Darth Maul wick here with a red candle. I think you can see we're starting to make a nice move there. If we look at the indicators, the squeeze indicators rolling over. Directional index and ADX is correcting. We still have some nice volume. I mean, overall, let's just watch for a bounce there, because I think if we get into let's look at a daily chart here. We definitely have been on a bit of a rocket ship to Pluto here, and I don't see any reason why it couldn't continue. We are seeing a little bit of a weakening here on the daily chart. Directional index is definitely trending down. You can see that right here. Let me grab a little trend line. You can see the directional index right here is trending down. ADX is trending down. Overall, volume is, ultimately it is trending down. So maybe we're in for a little bit of a retrace right now, but I'm going to watch for that bounce here on the really it's a 4-hour and the 45-minute chart. Of course, you can definitely see some indicators. I think the 45-minute chart's beginning to recover a little bit quicker, less of course quicker than the hourly chart, than the 4-hour chart. But hourly chart, it sticks real nice too. It's in a squeeze right now. The hourly, it's recovering. Beginning to see some positive volume come in. Like I say, I'm just gonna watch. We'll see what happens. But I got my little order that I'm ready to put in, and I might even put it in and just put a stop down here at the bottom of the channel. I might even put a little order in, and then on the 45-minute chart, what I'll do is, this is a very tight order, but I might put a limit in and put like. I use 3 commas, so I'll give it a couple minute timeout, so it doesn't trigger for a wick, and I'll just be like right around like the 200 moving average is around 36,800, so I might go like 36,500 or so with a stop loss that takes a few minutes to actually hit, because you can do that in 3 commas. And I'll just see if it balances here. I kind of have some confidence that it probably will. Let's look at the 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart, it's kind of not exactly recovering. It's a crazy moment. Just, play it how you would play it. But I think I might either just go for a small position and not bother with the stop loss. Maybe go a little heavier and have a stop loss. I wouldn't mind. And for one thing, if you do get your Bitcoin now, the thing is, we've been on this uptrend, which you can see here on. Let's look at a 4-hour chart. You can see a nice uptrend that we've been on. I mean, I certainly like that. It's looking pretty darn good. I don't see why we would not continue. I like it. I like what I'm seeing here. 4-hour charts well above the 200 moving average. 200 moving average has a nice steep uptrend to it. Trade at your own risk, crew. But also, what you could do if you actually wanted to do a channel like this and say, there's my channel, then, riding back to the top of that channel could be like 7%, and really at that point, if Bitcoin is still looking strong, maybe you've got a position you would hold throughout the year. If you so desire, if we actually do have a nice market throughout the end of the year, because like I say, we're starting an election year pretty darn soon. Holidays are starting. It's Thanksgiving pretty soon. The MMRI went well into above 300 for a while, came down, and so I do think that for what it's worth, like I say, I know I'm making a bit of a long video, but I think we might see a nice ride. So I might get in short time frame today. And if I can stay in the green, I'll just keep following that with a trailing take profit. I'll keep moving my little limit up just so I make sure the thing gets a couple percent up there. Then I might just forget about it for a while and see what happens. Like if it gets to around 2-3%, I'll just let it ride. If it looks like we have a nice positive uptrend, so I do think we might start to catch a bit of wind in our sails to the end of the year. It might be a nice time to buy some Bitcoin. Not financial advice. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm a crazy dude in his bedroom, talking about crypto. Looking at the and here's one of the things about why I think we might see a positive trend here. this year. And I think this is a big deal. I probably should have mentioned this earlier. This here in the top left-hand corner is a dollar strength index. Now, we were just on a rocket ship to Pluto with a dollar strength index for quite a while, as you can see, ever since like the 17th of July. We've been just dominating. It started to get weak. It's at a downwards channel, and look what just happened. Boom, it dumped. And now daily chart, look at that. It's the white moving average there. It's 200. It's under the 200 on the daily. If this thing continues weak, if it continues dumping until it actually, especially while it's under the 200 moving average, if this thing actually starts hanging out down here, we're golden. As long as this thing is on the daily, below the 200 moving average on the daily, the DXY, it's going to be Lambo mode. The traditional markets will catch up. They'll probably have a good day tomorrow. And definitely crypto, those alts will be bouncing hard. So let's see if this thing here, if the dollar strength index does get forced down and stays under that 200 moving average on the daily, because if it does, that's going to be Lambo season, crypto buddies. Looking at crude oil, it got below support recently, previous recent support, but it's made a bounce and it's challenging that 200. Crude really got its ass handed to it, but this here is just a U.S. oil. If anybody knows how to trade oil, I don't know actually. Would that be a futures? Would that be, can you do oil spot? I don't really know. If you know, let me know in the in the comments. I'd love to get in on this because I think that oil definitely it's gonna rebound off of this. I have no doubt. You know, we'll see $90 again without a doubt. So I'd love to trade some oil. Gold making a beautiful bounce off the 200 moving average on the daily chart recently, challenging previous high. Gold making a beautiful move. And why is that? Because dollar strength index, the actual indicator of the strength of Satan on the planet, is actually dumping and below important moving averages right now. So gold is pumping. Silver, it had a hard time getting above the 200 moving average, but it has recently. It's finding support there. Silver is looking great. The little green line here is just previous support and resistance, and it's gotten above both of those. So is oil, but it's still below the 200 moving average. DXY is dumping, which is wonderful. MMR is below 300. I like that. Shorts didn't get too wrecked with this crazy volatility. Bitcoin dumping, pumping, but did definitely, I would say, recover. Watch that recovery. Trade safe, my friends. Watch out for that leverage. But I do think if we can get a short time frame bounce off this bottom of the channel here, I think we're going to be golden. I'm going to get a little position in soon, maybe kind of layer it in, put a tight stop loss on it until it actually gets moving. Once they're up a few percent, I'm going to either sell it or chill and just watch it grow. Because if we do get a nice win in our sales throughout the end of the year, it could be a long-term play. You know, commodities, gold, silver, looking great. I like this. As depending on how this week goes, maybe I'll go and walk down to my coin store and buy some silver coins because I like what I'm seeing with silver. It's in the right spot. So dollar strength index is definitely dumping. That's a nice thing to see. Dollar strength index is weak. It's below that 200 moving average on the daily. If it can stay there, if it gets crushed and stays below, Lambo. Good for everything. As we all know, Binance and little CZ taking a hit. Bitcoin took a little bit of a dump, and now it's going to pump after that. Alts, definitely. Let's watch what happens tomorrow, and even tonight, later today, we're going to see some alts just bounce with a vengeance. You know what I mean? So I'll try to find some of those for us. And other than that, CZ, bro, I respect you. They can call you a bit of a shyster. I don't care, because the people who are going after you for being a shyster are like mega gangster, high table shysters. So whatever, when the mob kills a mob person that wasn't like, part of the real mob, like, I don't know, whatever. I guess he wasn't a real, if anything, yeah, sorry, bro. I just feel bad. I think he's a good guy at heart. I do. Even if he's done some dirty business, I don't care, because people going after him, whatever, U.S. mission to NATO signals. I'll just leave it here. This is wild. I like this story. It's time for little Z, who thought he was a big Z, to get to the negotiation table. Because what happens when this group backs you and then says, we got your back, bro. Go ahead and you get in this altercation because we totally got your back, man. We got you. Whenever this country does that, you got to look at history and what happens to the countries that we get behind and go, yeah, man, we totally got you. this is what happens. You become a financial liability. You become a PR, liability. Oh, we're not quite winning. Things aren't quite looking so good. So we'll just leave, you know, and we're on to other things now. You all know what that is. And well, you know what, little Z, you thought you were special, like all little dumbasses. You thought that, man, I'm special. The devil likes me. It's a special place. No, 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 it doesn't. Nope. Nope. Anyway, BitcoinDailyView.com got more for you there. Take care. And if you're watching this on Radiant Creators, just check out, just search. I'll put in the description of the video. I'll do that. Just search blockchain education in YouTube, and you'll find a different YouTube that I do these almost daily. Well, I try to do daily with some serious breaks in that daily schedule. Anyway, take care, everybody.